Hey guys, Dennis back with a brand new video. So today we are going to talk about replacing a toilet fill valve. Super easy, takes maybe 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less depending on your situation and what tools you do have and if you have the parts already available. Got an adjustable wrench and a pair of channel locks. Now these fill valves you can buy either as a kit with the flapper. So the flapper is this red thing down inside of here. So when you flush the toilet, basically this flapper lifts. It lets all the water in your holding tank here, drain down through, and allows your toilet to flush. There's nothing wrong with the flapper in here, but if you notice, there's no water coming out of here. So typically this fills down in there, and down on the bottom, you can kind of see water kind of just trickling out down there. It normally fills a lot faster than that. This has actually been filling for over an hour, and there's only about an inch of water in here. All right, so your first step to changing the fill valve would be to shut off the water. So sometimes this does not shut off the water all the way. I got lucky this time. This house is a little bit older. And before you disconnect your hose, right? If you have water in your tank, what you want to do is after you shut off the water, you want to just flush your tank. This one, obviously we're having a problem with it. It wasn't filling up the tank at all, so there's not a lot of water in here. So you could either put a bucket under here when you disconnect this to catch all the water. I actually have a really cool trick here. I'm gonna use a shop vac. So I have my shop vac, and also with the shop vac, it is a wet dry vac. You want to make sure you take your filter out of the shop vac before you suck the water out. This is the quickest way, in my opinion, to clean this out here without making a mess or having to wait and put a bucket under there and have it drip out. All right, so we're good. So what we want to do is we want to disconnect this fill hose here. Everything else is pretty much done on the bottom side. If you can see here, on the back side, you have your fitting here. So we're gonna loosen this guy up here. You probably will have a little residual water here when you disconnect this, so it'd be good to have some paper towels handy or a towel, one of the two. And you'll know if you don't have your water shut off, because as you start loosening this, you'll see water start spraying everywhere. So if you do, obviously tighten it back up, try to secure your water. Again, just gonna put some paper towels underneath here to try to catch some of this. And these can fight you a little bit. Oops. All right. So you'll notice it is actually seeping a little bit, but it's still getting by a little bit, but we're disconnected. Now you need the channel lock pliers. Remove the bottom here. Oh, and you'll see as soon as you break that vacuum on the line, the water that was in the line will drain out here. And this will happen if your tank is full. So that's why I want to make sure that your tank is pretty much empty. Using the wet dry vac is a good, quick way to drain the tank out. So you're gonna just break that free here, take that off all the way. And then your fill valve just lifts right out. What we're gonna do, we wanna make sure that our gasket surface here, so where the fill valve feeds through the tank here, we wanna make sure this is really clean, because if you have any debris in here, the gasket's not gonna meet the porcelain surface here, and you will have like a little drip or a leak. So I'm just gonna get some paper towel here. Clean that up a little bit. All right. take our new fill valve. We're gonna open up the package. It's pretty simple. This is what you get in the package here. So it comes with a tube. You have your fill valve assembly. Now this is adjustable here to adjust your height. So you can adjust your height with this. And then once you have your height adjusted where you want, you just slide this little collar on there. It looks like a ring. You just slide that on there. This package here comes with your new retaining nut, and this is the new piece. So your hose comes from this fill port here and mounts to this, and then this clips onto the overflow tube here. Just drop this guy in the tank, and you kind of want to have this right about here like this. You want to make sure it doesn't interfere with your flusher arm here. Right, we don't want this thing like jammed in here. Kind of want it like right here, and the hose comes off of here to go into there. Now we're going to take our retaining nut. The gasket's already in the bottom of this, as you can see. I'm going to put that in here, and so we're going to put our retaining nut on the bottom. Get it started on here, like this. And just get it snug, and then we can line everything up and tighten everything up after we're done here. Okay, and as you can see, as I tightened it, this whole thing rotated. What we want to do is loosen that nut up. So I'm going to loosen the nut up here. We're going to rotate this whole assembly over to about right here. I'm going to tighten it up again. Okay. All right, so we're pretty tight there. Next, we're gonna take our hose. I actually chose to replace the hose on here because the old one was a little ratty looking. This is a 3/8 fitting, the compression fitting that goes to the water valve, and the fitting that goes to the fill valve is a 7/8. And I have to show you here. This was just a Home Depot purchase, so you'll see 3/8 compression to valve, 12-inch, and it's actually ripped and folded inside of here, but it is a 7/8 fitting right here that mounts to your fill valve. All right, so our water is on now. I have everything wiped up down here. I don't see any leaks, and you notice now, see how fast this is filling up? And you can see the water right here filling up the overflow tube. So I'm gonna turn the water on full here. I just cracked it a little bit. All right. So typically the level of your toilet is determined by either a mark in here. Some toilets do have a mark that's either an indentation that's cast into the porcelain or something that's printed in here. This is a Kohler toilet. It's probably an older toilet, so it doesn't have that. Some of the newer ones do have that line. You typically don't want your level over the overflow, right? You don't want this over the overflow because it's gonna constantly be spilling down through the overflow. You can kind of see right here where the water level used to be and right here. So we're gonna try to set it to that. So all we do is we adjust this. You see tank water, it says plus. So we turn this clockwise. And what that does is that brings the flow up. And you'll hear it filling, right? So let's watch, okay? We filled there. And we're gonna keep adjusting this until we're close to where it needs to be. All right guys, so this is a super simple do-it-yourself fix. You know, why pay a plumber, you know, whatever, 50, 100 bucks to come change the fill valve for your toilet? Super easy. You need some basic tools, you know, some basic knowledge that you can find in this video here. The fill valve, I think, was maybe 8 or 9 bucks, super cheap. Save yourself a ton of money. It's really easy, guys. Don't be scared to do this. Thanks for watching.